It's February, and we have a market update for you that's not even reflected in the stats we're going to show you. We have some anecdotes to talk about what's happening in the market real time. And of course, we're going to go over the stats as well. I'm David Shapiro with the Shapiro Group here in Austin, and my colleague Lee Abraham. So let's go ahead and dive right into the stats. So, first of all, we've got the number of active listings. And this is actually down a little bit from last month. So we're at the 1,800 active listings for single family homes within the city limits. Really not all that many homes available in the big scheme of things. And you can see it, seasonality here, and this is normal seasonality. Last February was also down from January. March, it was about flat, and then it starts to pick up in April, May, and into the summer.
So, David, here we have those active listings kind of broken down based on different velocities. So, to me, the number one story of our report is on this slide. And when you look at the left grid there, the 30-day pending sales, you can see that there were 620 pending sales over the past 30 days. That's a much more robust velocity than the closed sales from the past month, past 3 months. Those were between 400 and 483 sales a month, and moving towards the 12-month average of 682. So what does it all mean? Basically, the pending sales are indicating less than a 3-month housing inventory, 2.9 months. We look at the closed sales, which is what the media typically uses for their calculations. You're going to see closer to 4.5. I believe that the real answer is in the low threes, and this is the value add that you were kind of hinting at, is that the statistics are not yet showing what's happening in the market, because over the past couple of weeks, David, things have shifted a bit.
Yeah. And here's that monthly housing inventory over time. Again, you can see the trend is where inventory tends to increase in the winter months. And then as we head into the new year and into the spring, there's less and less inventory as demand increases. So last year, February, there was a little bit of a bump up in inventory before the spring selling season. But this February, it actually went down. So what we're seeing anecdotally is a big pickup in the market and buyer activity, buyers out there looking for stuff. And there's just, because I showed you how few listings there are, there's just not a lot of quality listings out there. And so that's the issue we're seeing for buyers is there's stuff, but the stuff that's been sitting for a while is sitting for a reason. And so buyers aren't really interested in those because of the layouts or because of it doesn't have the view that they're looking for. Things like that where, maybe a reduction in price, it attracts the right buyer. And maybe that it will talk to maybe a point of why we saw what we saw with the average price, which we'll get to here in a second.
Right. Absolutely correct. So number of sales per month, David, down year over year, not even piercing the 400 sales for the month mark at 398. So it's anemic, no doubt about it, and clearly even down from December. So very interested to see what the coming stats will be for February, March, and April, but guarantee you they're going to be significantly higher.
Yeah, from what we're feeling and just from traditional seasonality, we're definitely going to see more sales through the spring.
Right.
And then the average sale price, so it's actually down year over year, 5.9%, which is a bit of a reversal in the trend that we saw the last 2 months where it was up. But I think, what I was saying about there not being a lot of good listings is that it could just be that, everything that's been left at this point with listings being so low is the stuff that needs to sell at a discount because there's some sort of adverse condition, which could mean it backs up to railroads or to a busy street, or like I said, it doesn't have a good layout. Those are the types of things that buyers are like, some buyers are just like, nope, not going to buy it. And then the ones that are willing to, they're expecting a discount for those items. So that could be a reason why we see a decrease here. I don't think it's anything to be concerned about. This average price year over year does fluctuate, or sorry, the average price within the year fluctuates. So you'll see that this should pick up an increase here coming into the summer. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see an increase in some of these future months throughout the year.
David, I will make my second guarantee of this report. I will guarantee that the average sale price for the month of February 2024 will be greater than the previous year.
Okay,
So
there it is, folks. Two guarantees.
You got it.
All right.
Days to sell, 73. Um, it's within the range that we've seen. 72 days last February was the high mark last year, so slightly above that. Again, seasonality's got a lot to do with this. We're expecting this number to decrease fairly significantly, and if it doesn't, that'll be news.
Number of new listings down year over year, up though from last month. So again, you see the seasonality here. So we anticipate that the number of new listings should increase, and we're hoping it increases
Right.
because there's just not enough good inventory out there. And we anticipate that buyer demand is going to increase, especially if rates start to come down. So with all those factors, we definitely hope that there's some more new listings coming into the market. If they're not, that's going to create even more appreciation. But as Lee just guaranteed, we're anticipating appreciation for the year already.
Right. And that's a note to sellers, David. I mean, it was a very astute point. If you've been on the fence about putting your home on the market, now's the time to do it. Really is. And so I just wanted to add that just as people are trying to make sense of this for their own situation. This is the right time to be a seller as compared to even the past couple of years.
Yeah, and anecdotally, we've seen some multiple offer
Right.
situations. We saw one at the $2.75 million price point recently that ended up having three offers and went for over asking. So, and that, we were working with the buyer on that, and we saw everything in that price point, and that was the best home for that price. And so made sense why there was a couple other parties that saw that as well. So there's definitely some opportunities for sellers now, better than it has been for some time.
Right. Okay. Sale price, list price ratio, again, hovering around the even mark, very steady here at 96%, which is a healthy indicator of the negotiated agreement between buyers and sellers in the market. So very, very consistent number.
And then our inventory barometer. So this is the most real-time stat of what we've been showing you. And this 100% line, for those of you that this is new to, is what we want to look at. So if the bar is above that, that means there's been more new listings than there have been pending sales. And if it's below, that means pending sales are outpacing the number of listings. So what we've seen, you can see prior to 2 months ago, it was a very clear trend that inventory was growing. And now the trend has reversed and inventory has been primarily shrinking over the last 2 months.
Right. This is really the driver. The primary mortgage market survey, these are very recent numbers as of yesterday as we record our video. And, the Fed announced that they're leaving the rates unchanged for the funds rate, but they're leaving open the possibility of rate cuts. And I think that's a very important, nuanced psychological positioning that we're entering, the real days here of the first quarter and into the second quarter. So basically, this is good news. You can see that the 30-year fixed rate average was 6.63. That's down a little bit from the previous week. So the trend is good. And, this is a very good indicator, David, for at least the first couple quarters of this year.
All right, so that was all within the city limits. So let's talk about the suburbs. So here we have the monthly housing inventory there, and you can see that the pending sales, again, outpacing what we saw over the last 30 days of close or the last 90 days of closed sales. And so inventory in the suburbs also coming down, although slightly higher at 3.3.
Yeah, and just to go back to that, there's some significant velocity out in the burbs, David. And so when we look at that 2006 sales over the past 30 days, that's more than the 12-month average, which is a very interesting little ratio there. So everything I'm seeing, and next month will bear it out, things are definitely picking up, including the active listings, which we'll see on the upcoming slides.
So number of sales per month, down 1.2%, but pretty much, looking better than what we saw within the city, and down 28% month to month.
Yeah, in alignment with last year. And then we have the average sale price, again, down marginally. I think it's important from time to time to remind our viewers that this doesn't mean that you take that percentage up or down on these average sale prices times what you think your home was worth last year, and by golly, that's what your house is worth. It's just not that way. These are market-wide indicators of the average sale price, which gives us a sense of price appreciation. As I interpret this, basically it's saying that your values have been flat over the past year or so, and that it's just marginal fluctuations in terms of average sale price.
Yeah, and because if you're thinking of selling, it's good to reach out to us and talk about your specific situation and your property, because every submarket is different. And so real estate is hyper local, and we really need to hone in on your neighborhood and your house and all these different factors to come up with what's the current value of your property, so we can help advise you on what the right thing to do is, whether it's time to sell, based on all these other factors. So if you are thinking about selling or buying, please go down in the comments and schedule a call with us, or shoot us a text or message us on Instagram, whatever is easiest for you. And we'd love to hop on a call and talk about your goals and how we can help you get there.
Days on market, David, 80. And so December was 82. It's getting up there. It's not triple digits, but it's getting close. So we're looking for this to drop significantly. And like I said, in town, if it doesn't, it'll be news, and we'll surely be reporting on it.
Number of new listings here up, which was different than within the city, 9.9% year over year, 53% month to month. So that's a big difference between city and the suburbs.
Right. Yeah, that's a very big jump, and good for the market overall. Very healthy. Happy to see it. And your sales price, list price ratio, again, marginally up, very consistent, maybe a point higher than in town. Don't know that that means a whole heck of a lot, but I do like the consistency.
Well, thank you for joining us. We would say that the market is definitely improving, and that's going to be for both buyers and sellers, as there's more inventory for buyers to choose from, interest rates coming down. A lot of sellers want to go buy something else, so it allows them to unlock and go move because rates have come down. They don't feel locked in. I know a lot of you watching this might have a low interest rate and feel very locked into your home. And so that sort of unlocking the system and allowing movement is good for everybody. So we anticipate that we're going to trend towards that this year and certainly into next year as well. And if you have any questions, go ahead and comment below on the YouTube video. So we hop on there, try to answer all those questions, and don't hesitate to reach out if you're thinking about buying and selling. We'd love to chat with you and help you. We look forward to seeing you on the next video.
Thanks, everybody.